So about a week or two ago, I just finished up my Leaf deck profile, or at least what I was going to do with it, and I was going to start, recording, editing, and then eventually put it out. I got the thumbnail done, the list was done, the testing was complete, and then there was this huge wave in Japanese V about a deck that was suddenly topping, and I couldn't believe my eyes. It's a version of my Dragonic Blademaster with the Ride Fix promo. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Season4 here. Today I am back to cover Dragonic Blademaster Souen. Once a year, I somehow end up talking about this, and I don't know if Kidani's watching me, but he keeps releasing the Kagero promos in September, October, so guys, you guys are not getting my birthday months right. You might want to check again. But regardless of that, today we're going to be covering Dragonic Blademaster, because I've been covering V decks recently with Ride Fix promos, and it's Blademaster. I have to cover it, but I actually was not going to cover it until this started winning tournaments. I think that's something we have to actually put a little disclaimer in there, that the reason why I'm doing this is because this is winning tournaments in V Japan, and it happened to be a very similar list to the Blademaster list that I've been playing personally ever since the release of the Ride Fix promo. So I literally just tweaked my list a little bit after seeing the multiple lists that had appeared, and I'm presenting to you a version that I'm most proud of, that I feel is the most sane. I have to say that because, Blademaster has had a lot of variants over the years, be it in G, be it in V, there's been plenty of ways you can actually build this deck, and I feel that right now we've reached the stage where there is only one true build for a Blademaster, which is very, very strange to be saying, because for so many years of my life, there's always been at least two or more versions of Dragonic Blademaster that you can play in an ecosystem. This is the first time I'm going to say it now, there's only one. So without further ado, I'm going to start it off by talking about the list. We play 4 copies of Dragonic Blademaster Souen for our grade 3s, and that is it. It's very shocking because for how many years I've been saying, you need multiple Blademasters together. You need either another grade 3, you need Blazing Flare, you need Dragonic Lawkeeper, Dragonite Janat, Cruel Dragon, Dual XR Dragon, all the other X Dragon, even a freaking Dragonic Overlord base. No, you don't need any of them anymore, which is very surprising. Why is that? We'll get into it, but it's basically just 4 copies of Dragonic Blademaster Souen, and that's the entire grade 3 lineup. I wish I was lying. There's no book, there's no nothing. It's just him. So you should probably know he's a fan by now, but I'm willing to read through it because it's Blademaster. During your turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, this unit and every vision token gains 10,000 power. This is a vision token, not referring to the team vision, no, it's just vision tokens. This guy, he got hit in premium, but we don't care about premium anymore because I'm not paying $200 for Harmonic Messiah, neither should you. His second and main skill is act once per turn. You only can use once, discard 2 cards from your hand, summon a vision token. Then if you have Wyvern Strike Doha, as well as Wyvern Strike Goran on your field, you can retire all of your opponent's rear guards. It ignores targeting, you just retire all. And yeah, that's basically it. At the end of the turn, although it's kind of written into the clause, the vision token will commit suicide, so he will no longer stay with you for the whole turn. It's a temporary stand for Blademaster. I'm sure you've heard that joke before. Yeah, the skills are the same. It's still not very good because Dragonic Blademaster Souen does not plus at all. I think it's very clear. It's much faster than V Dragonic Blademaster, don't get me wrong, which is why he's hailed as a very good upgrade, but he doesn't change or save the deck at all. It's still the same discard too, hello. But you know what? If people are winning with this shit, I'm happy because this is my boy. I'm glad. I'm glad they're winning. I don't know how they're beating Leopold with this shit. I don't know how they're beating Spectral Duke. I don't know how they're beating Luan. But if they're happy with it, I salute them 100%. God save them. But the vision token, if you need to know, is a grade 3 13k twin drive, not triple, twin drive rearguard that performs twin drive on its attack on the rearguard circle, and then it disappears. So yeah, that's basically it. In case you weren't sure, it's a 23k unit and a 23k unit as long as you've been able to retire the opponent's board. If not, it's just 13 by 13. So the clear board is very important for this effect. It's only during your turn that you get the plus 10, not like other editions of Blademaster where it's, altered. So just keep in mind that. Our grade 2s is where it gets really weird now, because we play 4 copies of Attack Dragon. I'm going to move it here. We play 4 copies of Mr. Doha, we play 4 copies of Break Breath, and then we play 4 copies of Soldier. Dragon Dancer Soldier, for those of you who are not familiar with her. If you're not familiar with her, you're just not familiar with Blademaster, which is fine. Who's supposed to learn the tier 8 deck, am I right? So, breaking through this deck is going to be very interesting, and we might as well just start first with Break Breath Dragon. The topic of Kagero generics is equivalent to, talking about effective travel systems in a third world country, in that there is none. It's very simple because Kagero has the worst generic pool in the entire game, period. Like, I wish I was lying. I would rather play Brachiofloss in this slot. But we have to work with what we have, and Break Breath is one of the few generics that came out at the end of V that has cemented itself into, one of the core generics that you kind of build into every Kagero deck that is an Overlord. The other guy is obviously Hishat, but we'll get into him in a bit. I believe this is this is the second printing of Hishat. I'm using the second printings of Hishat and Break Breath. But they've been reprinted once, so you generally should have no issue finding this, because Kagero is not a competitive clan, you generally should have no issue. Break Breath skill is very simple. At the end of the battle's unit attacks, if your opponent's rear guards retire this turn, retire himself and draw. It's a net 0 cycle. It's not great, but I mean, it serves its purpose. It's a costless cycle. I'm not going to be against that. Second skill is when this unit is rolled upon, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards to retire it. If you can't retire, you draw. That's the skill you're here for. It's really good for a free skill. It's a free +1, or it's a retire, which, okay, it's not bad. I'm aware that you already retire every rearguard with Dragonic Blademaster Souen, but I mean, if you don't have Doha and Garan on the field, which is common, don't think it doesn't happen, a free -1 to snipe off a small board will ensure that Dragonic Blademaster Souen can reach its full potential and all your Blaze effects can be activated. So really, I'm playing this at 4 because it's a generic. If you want to play other cards in this slot, I know another very popular option that they play in Japan V right now is, what's the guy's name? Dragonic Burnout. I don't support it because it costs counterblast, but if you want to, there's nothing stopping you, honestly. I mean, you can recycle your heal guard into Dragonic Burnout, which I think is really nice, I think. I could be wrong though, I think you can recycle heal guards. Let me know in the comment section below. If we're going to talk about generics, we just might as well get this out of the way. It's Attack Dragon. Now, my last how many videos on V, I've been praising the Ride Fix promos. I've been saying that it saves every deck, that it was lower consistency, that it brings new life to this format, that it should be relooked properly, and that it shows a consistent support to V via the tournament system, and that V is nowhere near dead. I wish I could say all those nice things about Attack Dragon, because the truth of the matter is he's just not that good. Attack Dragon is being played in a very bad clan with a very bad skill. So you can kind of fill in the blanks. And you may be wondering, then why am I playing this in Blademaster? Why does this even have success in Blademaster? It's because it's a generic, and Blademaster is a deck that needs generics because it's not Overlord. The entire Kagero, if you're not Overlord, you just play generics. So you have to play this guy. And he does help in the sense that he does help you find Soldier or Doha, or any of the great ones. We play a lot of great ones in the competitive list now because we just need to increase the maximum number of search targets. So I'm not gonna spoil anything, but this is the number of great ones you're expected to play. You can take a look. So because of that, we really had to remod this list, or at least everyone that plays Blademaster competitively, can't believe I just said that, needs to mod their list to play a very large grade 2 in 1 base, because that's what his Ride Fix skill searches for, a grade 2 or less card. However, what I like more about Attack is actually his first skill. When he attacks when boosted on the Vanguard or rearguard circle, Soul Blast 1, choose a column and retire all the rearguards. This is the first time in V Kagero, I'm very confident, that we have a Soul Blast retire skill besides Blazing Flare. So this is a grade 2 that does it and retires 2 instead of 1. And it's on V as well, so if you are fighting something like, say, Tachikaze, if you are fighting something like even my previous video, Spectral Duke, check it out, or if you're just fighting against 7 Seas or anything with high rush, this is a complete turnabout, no pun intended, for the early game board. This completely shuts them off and just forces them to go -2. If they see you have Bioattack in the deck, they are going to think twice before early rushing you because this is such a good counter tool. But that being said, it is still restricted to being boosted by grade 1, which, like I said, is why we are playing so many grade 1s in this deck. So really, Bioattack Dragon is, just as his name suggests, he's very bipolar. Not only is he one of the best supports Kagero has in the last 6 years, in the sense that he's one of the best generics you will ever see, he's one of the worst generics you will see because of how restricted he is as a card. I strongly believe that if a Kagero player is able to maximize the use of Bioattack, they will need to up their grade 2 and 1 ratios and cut down on their grade 3s, of which most Kagero decks cannot do that because, Seal Dragons maybe can, but everything else has a trouble because they will rely on stuff like Dauntless Drive Dragon, which would automatically encourage you to play upwards of more than 8 plus grade 3s, Elif himself included. So that being said, if you can play a Kagero deck that has 6 or less grade 3s, then you are in a very comfortable position to choose to play Bioattack. So remember, as long as you're playing this bad clan, go to your tournament and win this card as soon as you can, because Kagero has very little generics. This is your only chance to get him before the tournament system closes. Then do not blame me if you can't find this deck for your VM Premium, if you want to play Premium, and go, oh my goodness, I can't finish it. I'm sorry, I'm warning you now that this is one of Kagero's only good generics. I think we are tired of speaking about generics, so for the less of our grade 2s, let's talk about non-generics. Fajar, when placed on the Vanguard Rearguard circle, it searches the top 5 cards of a deck for Wyvern Strike Garan or Wyvern Strike Doha and just add it to the hand. It's on VRR, so it's a nice, comfortable search. You don't need to discard if you add one, so it's a +1. It's the only way Blademaster pluses, what a surprise. But you can fail this search. Yeah, I think that is something you need to know. It's because of Fajar that generally you do play for Garan. We'll get to that in a bit, but just know that this is your only way of plussing. Fajar is a card you absolutely want to see on turn 2. If you don't see on turn 2, it's virtually dead everywhere onwards. Of course, we have to talk about the titular man himself, Mr. Wyvern Strike Doha. Doha, when placed on the rearguard circle, counterblast 1, search your deck for a Wyvern Strike Garan and call it to the rearguard. Yes, Akane and Pongo, but I have to move this out of the way for you to observe. He's simply a grade 2 with 9,000 power. He's as weak as Aglovale. But when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, if your opponent has no rear guards, they can only guard with trigger units. They can't actually guard with normal cards, so they can't guard with the grade 1s, they can't guard the grade 2s. They only can guard with triggers. This counts for heal guards though, so they can guard with heal guards. But I guess Doha is restrained to the fact that he was printed in the year of our Lord 2019. He's literally 4 years old and he's still as shit as ever because it's a 9 plus 8, it's 17k. Who are you threatening with 17k? But again, if you manage to win with Blademaster V, I'm not complaining. I'm very happy for you, generally speaking. So if they somehow manage to figure a way to make this good, I'm happy. But I have to tell you this, it's not a good card. It's not. But you must play it though, because it's Doha, you have to. Moving on to our grade 1s. Our grade 1s, we play 4 copies of Mr. Wyvern Strike Garan. We play 4 copies of my love-hate best friend, Mr. Lava Flow. 4 copies of the Dragon Knight Hishat. 4 copies of Irmo. And 2 copies of Dragon Dancer Soldier. Now, I just want to cover as many things as I can out of the way. Mr. Lava Flow is our generic grade 3 searcher. He was the original Blademaster searcher. He used to be, I think, 5,000 yen a piece back in 2020. Now he's about 300, 400 yen, maybe about 500 yen. So yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. His plus 5k power is a VRR skill, which means he can grade 1 game. Yes, but I mean, his second skill is also VRR, where he opens the top 5 for grade 3. Very important right now, because you only have Dragonic Blademaster as a grade 3 in the deck. You want to find it. So besides hard mulliganing for your Dragonic Blademaster, the other route you can actually do is Bioattack into Lava Flow into Blademaster. So just keep in mind that this deck has a serious proportion to misgrade, so you do want to play 4 copies of Lava Flow if you're interested in playing this version of Blademaster. If you uncomfortable. You can just play more grade 3s, but then that would also mean your buy attack really suffers. So it's a very cyclical process in building this deck when you realize who affects what. It's kind of like a high school drama, so just keep that in mind. Since we're talking about generics, you might as well go all the way with my favorite generic, Dragonic Blademaster. When placed on the rearguard circle, column blast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your opponent's back row rearguards, retire it, and then you can draw 1 card. Yay! I mean, it's a draw! I'm not gonna complain, but it is column blast, soul blast 1, so it is very costly. And it's only restricted to back row sniping, so I know before they printed Hishat, we used to take in Nahalem. We used to take in V Nahalem back in 2018 and 2019 just to snipe off our opponent's back row rear guards. We don't have to do that anymore. Hishat just gives us a draw. They play this as a 4-off in the rebirth because they want the draw to fill the board. Can you imagine that? Leave a comment below if you're a rebirth player. I want to laugh at you. The second skill is that when this unit is rolled upon, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add a grade 3 from among them to your hand. You don't need to discard, it's very nice. This is your other way you can get your hands on your Dragonic Blademaster Souen or your Heal Guardian. Yes, you play Heal Guardians. So it's nice, it's good, but it's only when rolled upon that you get this chance. So you can kind of see what I mean when I'm talking about Break Breath as well as Hishat. That they are generics that are good for Kagero, but at the same time, they are limited by what they do. In a sense that if you choose to play them, they kind of lock you into this very weird position of how do I play my deck? You don't. But yeah, I mean, it's still good. Hishat's definitely 4-off worthy. I don't think that's ever a doubt. But Break Breath, yes, he is a flex spot. Our last generic for this deck, and I'm glad I can stop talking about Kagero generics, is Ermo. Ermo is actually a good generic though. There's no hate on him. If you have more rearguards than your opponent, he gains 3000 power to continue skill. It's a very weird number to have 11k, but this was printed 2018, so not complaining. Second skill is when your opponent's rearguards retire by card effect, you can retire himself, draw, and counter charge. Nice net cycle, nice draw 1, nice counter charge. No complaints. I have nothing to say. Ermo is only played because of the safetyness of Ermo, if that's a word. He's very safe as a card. So as long as you're needing spots to run in a V Kagero deck, you just throw him inside. It's simple as that. But Blademaster is one of the few decks that can use him because we do have Color Blast outlets and we do have a lot of retire. If you start looking at other decks, like say Elif, Goku, I think even Dollars has troubles fitting him in. That's when you really start to hesitate on whether you actually play him or not. But in Blademaster, he's more than happy to stay. Since we finally finished talking about generics, I want to talk about Garan. Garan is one of my favorite cards of his deck. If your opponent has no rearguards on the rearguard circle, this unit gains 5000 power. That's a 13k booster, ladies and gentlemen. That's really good. And he's searchable by Mr. Doha. So that means you basically have a Pongo, a Kane kind of situation, but my Pongo is way better than yours. But there is one more skill. If this unit boosts Doha and the attack hits, counter blast 1 to draw and then soul charge 1. I have to be honest, I don't know who the soul charge is for. I don't know why they printed that skill. Biotype Dragon only came out last month or 2 months ago. Faja only came out in the year of 2020. And Blademaster V, like, he didn't really have, he only had a Soul Blast 1 grade 3 skill, unless they intended for this to Soul Charge a grade 3. But that didn't happen. But I mean, it's still a +1 if the attack hits for a counter blast. It's basically a CB1 draw 1. I'm not complaining, I think it's really neat. But because, as I mentioned, that Doha is really small, the chances of Doha's attacking hits is near 0. I think I can speak from experience. I've played these two since 2019. You can check all the previous deck profiles in my channel. I promise you there's a version for everyone. Yeah, this I've only used this effect like twice in at least 3000 games. So yeah, take it from me, I don't think you'll ever use that effect. But I mean, if you do, congratulations, you deserve it. And last but not least, we have 2 copies of Dragon Dancers. This is Faja, I think. The first one was Soldier, this is Faja. I don't have much to say about her because she's really a safety net. All she does is when placed Soul Blast 1, choose any number of Dohas or Garans, and put them to the bottom of your deck, and this unit gains 5,000 power for each. I think my position on her has really changed from format to format. I think as some V eras go, I generally encourage you to play this card. As some V eras go, I discourage you and I say cut it, because I'm very scared that you will be playing for an endgame that will never come. However, in this version of Blademaster, you do have that endgame. Or in fact, that endgame is accelerated because of stuff like by Attack Dragon. He basically puts all your entire grade 2 or less pool on a treadmill and just forces everyone to start running. The first one to die, break breath, because he's horrible. So the issue is that you burn through your deck very quickly, especially with Blademaster having you discard 2 and then twin drive 4 cards in that. So that means you don't plus, but you go through your deck very quickly. Your opponents are also not retarded. They have been playing this format for many years now, and they kind of know what a Doha Garan is, especially because of the rebirth. So because of that, they generally will try to attack your Doha Garans, they'll try and retire them. You will run out of Doha Garans very quickly, and as such, you will need to play this card again. And I thought that was complete bullshit. I was like, yeah, right, there's no way this card is relevant in 2023, until I review every topic list for Blademaster, and they are playing this at upwards of 3 to 4. Which I was like, no way, because like, that's way too bricky. So I was testing it myself, and I do agree though that we run out of Doha Garans very quickly, so the number I came to be comfortable with was 2. I feel that 1 usage of her per game generally should put you far ahead. Plus, it's 5k for each. So if you have like 8 copies, you just put them back in, this unit gains like, what, 40k? So yeah, it's not a bad card by any means. It's just very slow. So you can play her at 2, the Japanese play her at 3 to 4. You can choose to play this at 0 if you're generally just not comfortable with it. I mean, it's your deck. You can build it how you want. Last but not least, our triggers. We play 4 Hugats, 4 copies of Mr. Bari. We play 8 criticals, and then we play, of course, Mr. Regular. So I think that was very straightforward. I don't think I need to explain that, but I do want to note that there are some people who choose to play Crit Sentinels in Blademaster because they want to just make use of the 4 drive checks and they just kill their opponent. Completely viable strategy, I think that's fine, but Blademaster is a card that is a deck that really doesn't plus at all. So I generally do prefer 4 draw PG, but if you wish to play a 2-2 split, that's fine. I would recommend playing 12 crits though, because like I said, this is a very piece reliant deck. You do need your draws. So at most, 10 criticals. The starter is regular because he's Blademaster starter. The Heal Guard is quite obvious here. It's a grade 3, so it plays into a lot of the grade 3 synergies that Kagero strangely has over the years. And the fact that it helps you stop early aggression, because Blademaster really cannot handle early aggression. Even though he is a retired deck like Gandiva, he does not have a draw 6 like Gandiva. So please do not say, yeah, you should not be playing Heal Guards. You should. You absolutely should. Because you don't need that much Counter Blast early on. This is not a rebirth deck profile. So you do need to play Heal Guards. It's absolutely necessary. I will stress on it. And yes, that wraps up my Dragonic Blademaster 2023 deck profile. I think this is the first time in channel history that I get to cover a Dragonic Blademaster video that has substantial results. I think it's very clear. Okay, besides the premium one, I think my last premium one had results too, because I did win an event with it for WGP. But I think beyond that, I think this is the first time that Blademaster has had major, okay, yes, major competitive success for a video that I'm doing. I'm very glad to see it performing, because this is a deck that means so much to me. But I will stress on it, and it's very clear that this deck is not that good. No matter how much they hype it, no matter how much they say it's good, I will tell you straight, this is not your meta. You do not need to worry about a Dragonic Blademaster meta anytime soon. But I will say though that this is true testament to the grade 2 Ride Fix promos that have been coming out. Because if a deck like Blademaster can reach competitive success now at this hour of V's lifespan, I think that is as substantial as you can ever get for a testimony on whether V is playable or not. In the first part of this year, we saw how the Ride Fix promo managed to resurrect Zanki and managed to resurrect Shiranui. and now it is doing the same things for Blademaster. So I say the writings are on the walls, you know, like what they always say, the writings on the walls, V will live on as long as you choose to play this format, as long as you choose to see that it's actually not as bad as you think. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. I just do want to also mention very quickly that because this video is being delayed, I don't actually know what the future so far is post the strategy stuff and whatnot. So let me know in the comments as well. Has Gandiva been banned? I hope it's banned. You can laugh at me if I'm wrong though. I'm purely speaking out my bum. I don't know if it got banned yet, but at the point of you watching this video, you will probably know the answer. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.